Hello, welcome back to Steve's Retirement Corner. How much cash should you hold in retirement? Beats the heck out of me, man. I'm the wrong person to ask anyway, because I went into retirement way over conservative. I still am, and I'm probably always going to be. It's just me. That's the thing about retirement is there's nothing set in stone, man. It's really up to each individual and their situation and their abilities. You know, some people, man, I've known a lot of them over the years. You know, lucky to, end the month up with, $10 in their pocket, much less have anything put back. But what got me thinking this was last week I had a daggone CD come up, and so I had to redo it, and that got me to realizing, hey, man, I actually have two cash buckets in retirement. I got one in the bank, a couple CDs and savings account, and then I got like 25-30% of my daggone IRA is in a cash account. It's not actually cash. It's what short-term government bonds. I mean, but it works similar. I get a little bit of interest, and it's, so I mean, it ain't much difference in my mind anyways. I consider anything that ain't invested in the market subject to the swings of it like that, is cash, whether it's a bond or whether it's a CD or savings account or whatever the heck it is. But they both serve two different purposes. The big thing about holding cash, they tell you, is daggone it erodes your purchasing power over time, but they act like you ain't never going to add to it, so I mean, to me that's kind of a moot point, but your cash ain't really supposed to be where you get your growth from. I mean, that's there for security. It's there to pull your butt out of the fire if something goes on, or to cover you if the market's down, so you ain't got a double dip and cut your losses even more. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's what that's for, in my mind anyways. Heck, I don't know, but and that's the way, that's the purpose for the cash in the bank for me. It's my safety and security bucket. If I got some kind of major emergency happens, I got it there to pull. If the market's down this year, I can live on that next year and give my investments time to grow. It's quick and easy to get to. There's no tax implications, and there's very, very few penalties. Usually on a CD, depending on how long you get it for, it's usually a 3 to 6 months where they interest they can take from it. But I mean, you put money in the CD in the first place to leave it, So I mean, that's usually not a big problem. It's, 6 months interest on a CD, depending on how much money you got in there's only, a couple $100 or whatever. It's not prohibitive. To me, it wouldn't be anyways if I needed a daggone money, and like it was $10,000 or some bull. And then that's why I have a savings account. If I haven't had it in there long enough, I can always pull from the savings account. But the money that 25 or 30% in the government bonds there in my IRA, that's more for wealth. I don't know, wealth building and preservation. The less I have in a market, the less I lose when it goes down. So I mean, that in that aspect, I'm preserving it. The less, and as for the building is, I can just put all that money into the stocks, buy on sale, and catch the rise up. So I'm actually building also. That money there is not meant for, at this point in time, it's not meant for covering me if the market goes down. It's not meant for me to pull from if I have an emergency or whatever. It's meant to preserve and increase my wealth as time goes along. That's what it's there for, in my mind, anyways. But you know, but I mean, you got to be careful not to be overly conservative, man, because you still need money working for you even in retirement. You know, it's a balance everybody has to find on their own. You know, I personally think, hey man, 2 to 3 years if you can afford it. Hey man, a lot of people just ain't got it, man. I mean, I got a couple of buddies of mine. They hardly ever make it to the end of the month on, you know, on the positive side. Let's put it that way. You know, and in that case, I think you know, it ought to be as much as you can afford. You know, I'd like to see 3 to 6 months. What it does is it buys you daggone time if something happens. You don't do something in a panic, in a rush mode. You know, that's really the big deal behind it. But I think 2 to 3 years would be plenty of expenses. What it is the reason I think that is because, I mean, the past 100 years, man, for the market, the Dow Jones to drop 3 years or more in a row is very few. The odds of it are almost nothing. I mean, it's like 2 or 3 times over the course of the last 100 years. So that gives you 2 years you can cover with the cash you got, and gives you a year's cash to spare. You know, so I mean, that's just what I think. But I mean, I don't know. But it's important, you know. It's an important thing to consider, and everybody's got to answer it for themselves on their situation. I mean, I'm way over conservative, but it you know, it's the way I want to do it. You know, I don't really pay much attention to the, you know, the losing the cash value of it, whatever that they call it. Because, you know, only part of my money is for that, and the other part is actually for something totally different. So, I don't know. I seen a video on here too. It was a couple of days back from Erin Talks Money. You ever watch her? I like her. She explains things where my little mind can understand it. But she did a video about how being more conservative in your retirement portfolio can actually be a bad thing to do. And what she's really taught me since I retired is I built a daggone flexible retirement plan, and I didn't even realize it. It just made sense to me. But and that's pretty much what I've done with my cash. You know, I got a little portion of it, hey, over here to cover my butt in case something goes wrong. And then the little other portion of my cash is really for, because you can't add money to a traditional, an IRA or a 401 unless you have earned income. I'm retired, I don't have no earned income. So if I want to buy stock in there, in my 401, I have to move it out of my cash account and put in there. You know, so I mean, how do I buy more when the stock is down, when the market's down? I can take it out of my daggone CD or savings account and stick in the brokerage account, but then it takes away from my safe and secure account. You know, it's you know, it's 6 of one, half dozen of another. So I mean, it's just easier for me to have it separate like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, well, if I get a chance, maybe I'll put that daggone video up in one of these corners here and about Erin talking about it. Hey man, it pays pays to listen to a lot of different people. But she's good at it. I like to listen to her stuff. But y'all take care of yourself, man. Make it a great week, man. It's gonna be beautiful down here. Mid-80s all week. Woo-wee! In the middle of July, I'll take it every day. Y'all take care, man, and we'll talk with y'all later.